Yo. Hello, hello. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Hello, hello. Popping out the chat so I can see it on the side. Off screen a little bit. Okay. Good to go. Good to go. Got my Twitch. Alright, cool. Alright, let me turn on the lights. Open up the camera. Hopefully the battery works today. I think it did. It's fully charged. Turn this thing on. Phase into the screen. Zap. We're back. All right, welcome. Today is day 25. Today we're going over 3D camera tracking. 3D camera tracking, chapter 86, getting near the end of the fundamentals. We can get through today. If we can get through this chapter today, that'd be great. It's only 15 pages. It's an important topic though. This is how you get things that look good. So you do 3D camera tracking, and you get your object into the scene in 3D space. That's like the coolest effect, right? So that's what we're going to be reading about, experimenting with, getting set up. I got some footage that we can play with. I got one clip to start us off. Maybe we'll do a few experiments though. Let's go here. Yo, Michael, what's up, man? Welcome back. I was wondering, how are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I thought you were just like sleeping. That's what I was assuming. It's nice to see you. Things have been pretty good. Pretty good. Episodes have been coming along nicely. I'm getting near the end of the fundamentals here. Check this out. So today we're doing 3D camera tracking. There's been some other, like, there's been some cool people stopping by, helping with, like, just helping in general. And then I've been also just kind of making progress through the chapters. Now I have some more experience. This is like day 25, so I'm starting to getting past the fundamentals. But so, I mean, we've just made progress through this, and now we've got 3 more small chapters here. This is a bigger chapter, but then, I mean, this is the biggest chapter out of the last 3. We've got 3D camera tracking, and then particle systems, and then optical flow, which actually I took a peek, and it's a real topic. I wasn't sure what this was about. So we got like 3 like main chapters to go, 3 fun chapters, and then we're done with the fundamentals. And then I'll be like, at least I'll level up. It's like a Pokemon. I'll turn into like the medium level Pokemon, you know? Turn in like from a Charmander to okay, how was the compositing basics? That was fun. Actually, let's take a peek. What was that? Let me go back and think about what happened. Compositing. Oh, that's what we just got done with. Yeah, that was the last couple days. That was good. That took 3 episodes. That was a lot of fun. That was cool. Here, let's see. Maybe I could open up the files. I haven't been going back, but like these things are starting to be cool. Hopefully, I didn't send it to media out. Is it still here? Yes. Yes. There we go. All right. So I saw Dune this day, and there's a lot going on with this, but this is, I mean, I know it doesn't look so good, but what's happening is this is 3D text. This is a 3D object that's getting these. It's like a plugin. So the texture is actually like a plugin. So if it plays, like an animated thing, and then I added also particles in here. None of it is good, but but it's actually a 3D scene. So this is not even an image. It's on an image plane in the background here. I don't know, a lot going on. Yeah. So this is our scene here. So just kind of playing around in 3D for the first episode. Particle system, image plane, all going into this merge. So that's I want to save that. And then and then 2 days ago, for the second day for 3D compositing, what did we do here? There's a few things. Oh, I mean, just playing around. What was this one? Oh, this was cool, but it kind of takes a while to load. This was actually looks kind of cool. There's a lot going on in this, but basically these are keyframes. I was just, I don't know, playing around with recording. I'm a lot more comfortable, yeah. But I don't know. This was an interesting one. There's an animation that goes with it, but it's kind of processor heavy. I want to save this as the media out though. And then these are all, again, this is like a plugin that's really, it's got like so many cool things to play around with. This is called Shader Toys. It's a free plugin and what's it called? Fuse. In Reactor, Shader Toys. The blue scratches is from putting this shader toy as a texture. Here's the text 3D. If you do a replace material, you can plug in like a 2D animated thing onto the body of the material. And so it's these shader toys. They're really cool. A whole bunch of text effects in here. Templates, Fusion. Oh, sorry. Tools. If you go into what is it? Workspace. You go into Reactor. And then you can download a thing called Shader Toys. Those are pretty, got a lot of cool things to start with. You can plug them together. A lot of cool things. And they're like low processor. A lot of things here. A lot of stuff. Yeah, okay. So that was day 2, and then yesterday I lost my media out. Where is it? Is this it? Merge media out. Here it is. I think if I send this thing to the media out, then save it, and then save it, and then close this, it will pop up in the. Oops. It'll pop up as a thumbnail. And then yesterday was part 3. What happened yesterday? Oh, yesterday was kind of like reading about the different types of lights, and like, I don't know, that was like more, that was fundamental stuff, where it's like reading about Phong and Ward and Cook torrents for computing, like how the shadows work on from text, you know, and like stuff like that, and materials. We did set up a scene here, but even the scene's not loading, so a bit more experimentation, just actually some hanging out. I've been getting kind of sidetracked actually, but for good reason, like getting sidetracked and chatting about like film and different programs and things like that. Yeah, there's been a lot of development, but like I said, it's getting near the end of the fundamentals, and then we move on to the next stage, which I'm still trying to figure out what that is, but we got to upgrade after we get through the fundamentals. But today we're doing the 3D camera tracker, and I also for today took a peek. I rewatched a tutorial about how to set this up, so it's going to be a little more tutorial-y, hopefully. We're going to be covering something that hopefully I know about. Actually, do you know if that's necessary? Because I keep doing that now, where it's like, we have the confusion clip, bring it onto the timeline, and then I do this. Well, I do this, and then I bring it back. I don't know if that's necessary, but it's something I'm doing now, ever since that one time we lost the whole file. Okay, so I do have footage. I downloaded some footage, prepped it for today. Where is it? Where is the footage? Huh? Oh, here it is. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Here, and then I'm gonna do a resize because I know it's 4K and I can't handle 4K while we're streaming. And okay, here we go. We got some footage here, a drone shot. It's moving, and we got what is it called, rotation of the camera while we're kind of moving, hovering around. So let's hit the book over here. Where's that at? "3D camera tracking." So this chapter, let me crack this. All right. This chapter presents an overview of using the camera tracker node and the workflow it involves. Camera tracking is used to create a virtual camera in Fusion's 3D environment based on the movement or a live action camera in a clip. You can then use the virtual camera to composite 3D models. Yeah. 3D models, text, 2D images into a live action clip that has a moving camera. Then we're going to be covering introduction to tracking. What is camera tracking? Outputting from a camera tracker, auto tracking from the camera tracker, matching the live action footage, running the solver, and exporting a 3D scene for efficiency. The introduction to tracking. Tracking is one of the most useful and essential techniques available to a compositor. It can roughly be defined as the creation of a motion path from analyzing a specific area in a clip over time. Fusion provides a variety of different tracking nodes that let you analyze different kinds of motion. Each tracker type has its own chapter in this manual. This chapter covers the tracking techniques with the camera tracker node. 3D camera tracker node, right? Yeah, the camera tracker. Camera tracking is used to for match moving, and it's a vital link between 2D scenes and 3D scenes, allowing compositors to integrate 3D CGI elements into live action clips. The camera tracker node calculates the path of a live action camera and generates a virtual camera in 3D space. This virtual camera is intended to be identical to the actual camera that shot the scene, not only in terms of motion, but in matching the lens focal length. Oh, that's right. I am not doing that today. I don't know. Unless there's an auto lens finder. I gotta start getting my own footage. That's what needs to happen after the fundamentals, maybe. I could have been doing that this whole time, but I'm busy usually. But no excuses. I'll start bringing some footage. Bring some, yeah, right? Start taking some shots, bringing them in here to mess around with. That's what needs to happen after fundamentals. We're evolving, It's like I'm moving on from. I'm more comfortable now with streaming the workflow, even though it's still still learning that, but it's like at least a little more comfortable, and then more comfortable in the program, doing those two things at the same time. So I can put some effort into more shots and like preparing maybe a little more. The calculated position and movement of the virtual camera is central to realistically compositing 3D elements with live action. So if you want to do stuff like this, you gotta do 3D camera tracking. How it works: camera tracking begins by tracking the movement of fixed features from one frame to the next. To put it another way, camera tracking algorithms follow features that are nailed to the set. Objects in the scene that move independently of the camera movement in the shot, such as cars driving or people walking, cause poor tracks. So masks can be used to restrict features that are tracked in order to. Ooh, okay. Actually, that's important for my clip. I think I'm gonna have to mask out these trucks. So people walking, such as cars and driving, people walking cause poor tracks, so masks can be used to restrict the features that are tracked in order to improve the results. Additionally, it is helpful to provide specific camera metadata, which we don't have, such as the sensor size and the focal length of the lens. This information guides the scene reconstruction calculations called a solver toward generating a more accurate virtual camera. The camera tracker's purpose is to create a 3D animated camera and point cloud of the scene. A point cloud is a large group of points generated by the solver that roughly recreates the 3D positions of the tracked features in a scene. So this is actually, I think, tricky. Tracky. It's going to be tracky. It's going to be tricky, I think, because we have a weird angle. We have a weird angle, and then we have moving vehicles that we have to mask out. So I think it's the same trick as before. Or you want to start kind of halfway through, because then the motion of the vehicles is only this way and this way. So we start like here in the middle. We're going to do this around these. And then we're going to do another one around these. And then we're going to do one more around this one. And then we have to, we can just hand animate these. Yeah, so that's all we gotta do. We don't actually have to track these and then animate it, but whatever. And then this one, like whatever. And then this one doesn't actually really move. And then we gotta remember to go to the other side. Here, this one. This one. This one. Okay, that looks good. And then what? We have to combine these all, right? Merge them together here. Right? Actually, I think that is it. Invert. How do we do this? Let's hit the book again. Starting with some progress. The camera tracking workflow. Camera tracking has two main phases. There's tracking, which is the analysis of the scene, solving, which calculates the virtual 3D scene. Once you complete these steps, an animated camera and point cloud are exported from the inspector into the 3D composite. The camera tracker encompasses this complete workflow within one tool. That's right, I took a peek. And you just go through this, and then it poops out the nodes that you need to work with. So the camera tracker encompasses this complete workflow within one tool. 5 tabs at the top of the inspector are roughly laid out in the order in which you'll use them. These 5 tabs are track, camera, solve, export, options. Let's do that. Clips that don't work well with the camera tracking. Let's see, lack of depth, locked off shots, tripod pans, no detail, motion blur, rolling shutter, parallax. I'm at the later stages of reading this thing. I'm not doing everything word for word. Only if I see stuff that's like not sure or I want to know more about for sure. Clips that don't work well for camera tracking. So yeah, locked off shots. If the camera doesn't move, That's on a tripod. Wait, what's the difference between locked off and tripod pans? Oh, locked off would just be a steady. It just doesn't move at all. There is no way to calculate the objects are closer which are near. So the tripod pans, right? Similar to the locked off, there is no way to calculate which objects are closer and which are nearer. Okay. No detail. Clips like green screens without tracking markers lack enough detail to track. So not enough detail, which we might have some problems with. Oh, whoops. I think we've got some detail here, but I know some tricks. I know the tricks to get it to work if it's low. Motion blur. Fast camera motion or slow shutter speeds can introduce motion blur, which will make it difficult to find patterns to track. So it's worth trying shots like these to see if there are enough details to get a good solve, but know when give up and turn to another solution. And then rolling shutter. So if it's a CMOS based cameras, that means like the lens, it doesn't actually capture, like, you know, it's kind of like rolling. You know what rolling shutter is? I don't have a good explanation for it. Like nowadays they have full frame, which is like the whole image comes in and it's captured all at once. But a rolling shutter is like technically the image is like coming through in a rolling fashion. It like rolls through. Let me see if I can find an example of that. Rolling shutter example. Yeah. So on the right, that's a rolling shutter. That's what it does. It makes this like bend because it's like capturing it. Like if this was a picture, that's how the propeller would look. Yeah, most cameras, up until now, most cameras worked like this. Where it's like it's taking the picture and then like it's, but that's how it actually would capture the picture, like from top down, roll down. Nowadays, like nicer cameras like Sony's and other expensive cameras do full frame, where it's just like capture the image all at once. So that reduces this issue. Sometimes it's possible to create motion vectors with the optical flow node to create new in-between frames without the wobble distortion of the rolling shutter. Then you can use the corrected image to connect to the camera tracker. I looked into this as well, optical flow, like how to just get better in-between frames, how to get slow motion from regular footage. I think the last chapter in the fundamentals is optical flow. I think it's about that, same thing. Parallax. When objects at different distances in a shot overlap in the frame, the overlapping area can be misinterpreted as a corner. Having a tracker assigned to an overlapping angle like this will cause errors as the parallax starts to shift and the overlapping area slides. This can be solved in Fusion by removing the tracker before running the solver. And then moving objects, same deal. That's what we got started on. It's difficult to capture a shot where objects in the clip do not move. People, cars, animals, or other objects may move in and out of a shot. These objects move independently of the camera movement and must be eliminated, or they will cause solving errors. You can fix these issues by masking it out, which we started to. And the masks are then connected to the track mask output on the camera tracker node. And tip, some shots that cannot be tracked using Fusion's camera tracker can be performed in dedicated 3D camera tracking software like 3D Equalizer and PF Track. Camera tracking data from these applications can then be imported into the camera 3D node. Oh. Okay. So let's see. 3D camera. This one. And then what? Do we just plug them in like this? No. No, that's not right. We plug these together, right? Yeah. Wait. We make a, it doesn't matter. Make a line of these, and then we plug it in. No. Maybe if I hold Alt. Track mask, right? I think so. I think that was it. Let's undo that. Track mask. I think that's in, right? Holding Alt. Track mask. And plug this in. It's the image to mask. Yeah. If I just do auto track, should I just let it rip? Auto track. So it looks like it is still tracking the... I mean, could I just plug this into here? Doesn't this work? I guess this works, right? Wait. Wait. There it is. Okay. Don't invert that. Invert from this footage there. Right? That's gonna work now. And then how do I reset? I just reset it over here, right? Okay, now it's reset. So those dots should go away, but they didn't. Reset. Okay, there we go. Yes. Feel like whatever. Okay, if it works, it works. Oh, it's tracking the mask. That's not right. Let's see. I don't think that's right either. Let's see. Outputting from the camera tracker. Unlike most Fusion nodes, the camera tracker node has two outputs. The primary output is a 2D. You have to output them into the camera tracker, but invert them so they track outside the vehicles. Let's put it in. Oh, and then let's reset. Oh, right, because now, yes, nice, okay. I see. So it was only tracking inside of the mats. So now, settings? No. Options? Almost. Solve? No. Camera? No. No. I guess in here maybe I should just set these masks to inverted. Let's see. Right? Okay, now it's inverted. So add, no. How do we set these masks up again? Merge, subtract, no. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then this one also is going to be okay. Yes. And go. I don't think it. I don't think we did. We get. Oh wait, no. We got dots. We got dots. We have dots. Looks good to me. Sorta. Yeah, that looks good. And then we go to camera, whatever, solve. Now what do we do? Okay, we're making progress. Let's not jump the gun. See, I'm learning. I'm learning not to do the thing before we just have to read about the thing. I'm not confident enough to go further. I have to read this. Outputting from the camera node, there is also a 3D output used after your initial solve for viewing the camera path and point cloud in the 3D space. This view can be, after your initial solve. Okay, so we haven't solved anything yet. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you do track and then you do solve. I mean, you just like do that, then that. And then we get a number that's supposed to be lower than, oh, that's like perfect, right? That's perfect. Yeah, it's supposed to be below 1, and we got below 0.1. Sweet. So we don't have to do any fixing like anything else. I mean, we just export it, right? We don't have to clean it. We're good. I mean, maybe we should bring it. Yeah, actually, let's just do this and then export it. Hit the export. Yes, we got the stuff. We got the goods. We got the loot. Get the loot. Kind of reorganize this stuff. Oh, that's right. At this point, we can actually delete this as well. I'm gonna disconnect it. I don't want to delete it just yet because it was so good. Below 0.1. I want to save that. I'm gonna save this one. And it's got 3 masks. It's very valuable. Oh. Oh, sweet. That was really smooth. Here. And here. There's the camera. Is this... I think this is right. Oh, this is good. I mean, that's... Since we're like in a drone, that makes sense, right? I think that's that looks right to me. I think we just add a 3D text in there and it's gonna work. What do we do? Where do we add this? We can just throw it onto the merge. Construction. That's not quite right, isn't it? Is it? No. Well, it depends like where is it supposed to be. No, it's not quite right. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a pink. There's like a pink. Well, the plane here. The plane is. That's the ground plane. Yeah, the ground plane isn't quite right. Right? Or is it? No, because like on this is supposed to be the far side over here, and this is the closer side. So would this be the ground plane? Is that right? I don't think it's in quite right. I have to manually move it? Okay. And then do I move the... Oh, here's the ground plane. Transform. I mean, am I... Really? I'm supposed to manually move this? Oh, do I just align it with this? No. Oh. No. Do I just put it on there? I guess so. That's the whole point, right? I'm supposed to just make sense of like where this is. But like, I'm supposed to manually place it though, right? Like I'm doing, like I can kind of tell. Yeah, okay. Like that looks good, right? So this will be like right above. Yeah. That's all good. Trying to wrap my head around this. I think that's good. If I just plug it in from here. Truck. So where... Oh, but now... I mean, I can put it wherever I want. There's something I could do here about putting it onto the same angle, right? Copy the angle of that. Use the transform. Put the angle... Nope. What did I do? What have I done? Rotate it. Oh, that was the rotation. Well, that's kind of stupid, but... No, it isn't. No, that's cool. That's like... No, that's looking like it's... Yeah, it's like it's in place. I mean, I could just hand place it, right? Now it's going to be right on the ground. Ooh. Cool. Cool. I mean, that's it. That was pretty easy. Truck. There you go. All right, we're masters of the 3D camera tracking. I think the main thing for me is just wrapping my head around the idea that like we get this point cloud and like in reference, it's like a representation of where our footage is. And like the point cloud, like this matches to the perspective here, whereas this goes out to the perspective wherever it is. Oh yeah, and then here's the camera movement. Is these green markers. So that's the drone. And we're kind of like, we're tilted at like a 50-degree angle here for the whole thing. So that's another kind of thing to wrap your head around. But you're just placing the thing right into the cloud point, and then it will look like it's stuck in place. It's tracked in there. And that's it. We should get more footage. What should I do next? What type of footage? Do a few more. Oh, I know. Let me try. I want to try and find some of those like car. You know, like a spin around a car or something. I did that in one of my videos, but it came out so dumb because I couldn't figure out how to actually get a proper track, and I was like impatient. But I don't know where that footage is. Let me see if I can dig through my files and find it. Video. I got it. It's here. Yep, I got it. Here it is. Yes. Yeah. That's the shot. I'm gonna put this into. Oh, this is gonna be cool. I already see something about that footage that I didn't understand when I tried to do it before, which is that there's a lot of like jitter. Even though I literally was using a gimbal for this, but there still is like quite a bit of, I think it's cleanup is necessary. But let's see. Let's just bring it in and play around with it now. Video. Okay, sweet. Truck. Got it. Beautiful. Save that. And then media pool. Import. Okay, and then this. One thing that I was struggling with was the fact that it was kind of like poorly lit. I think I just need. Oh, it was all. Was it the clouds as well? There's parallax. The whole thing has parallax. Does it? I don't know. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. It's 4K, so let's do a resize. And I want to put. Okay, sweet. So let's get the camera tracker, and I think this is not gonna work, but let's give it a try. I think a planar tracker might work better for this. I think you're right, yeah. But let's try this again. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was like in one of the chapters, it was, I don't think you were here for it, but that's what it said was like, part of the skill is knowing when to use the right tracker. I think you got it. Yep. I think you're right. Let's see. Let's try auto track. Oh, and there's moving cars in it. And there's people. So that's confusing things. But I can just select them, right? Like I can select this and delete it. Select that and hand delete it. right? Yes. Oh, select this one and delete it. That. Okay. Okay. And then we go to solve and we give it a try. Oh, damn. This worked. Although there's some messed up ones here. But let's see. I know the filtering, right? We want to use filtering. We don't want to hand go through and delete everything because that could take forever. But what is it? Minimum track length, select. So filtering, solve options, all this stuff. You know what? I feel like either read through go through one by one and think about it, or we revisit the book here. We get the 2D, 3D view, camera tracker. That's the setup. Into a merge. We get our point cloud, and the point cloud can be yeah, yeah. We recenter with the manual. We got auto tracking in the camera tracker. Tracking is the term used to describe the task of observing and analyzing a sequence of frames or clip. I did, yes. That was yesterday. I figured out how to take off all the filters so you can post links, you can curse, you can I'm not endorsing that. But if what you're saying, like if it needs to happen, then it can happen now. And Nightbot is gonna chill. Yep. And you can spam emotes. Yep. You can post links. I left there's no misogyny and also some like extreme curse words probably you can't use. I don't recommend trying though, to test that. I'm not endorsing that. But yeah, caps are all good. Emotes, links, whatever. So the camera tracker, we just kind of played with it. We're starting to get an idea of how that works. Yeah. I had to go to nightbot.tv and then that's where all the settings were. Yeah. A Discord server, that would be sweet. So it's kind of cool. It's actually funny. There's been a couple people coming by now. So it's been interesting from my perspective. It's like honestly you were there for like the first few episodes and was awesome. And then you didn't show up, but then like somebody else came in and they were hanging out for like the whole time and that was awesome. And then they didn't show up and then there was somebody else that was like hanging out. And it's just been like kind of nice. but yeah. But so there's like yeah, starting to get some people coming by. The YouTube getting a few subscribers. Yeah, it's been nice, you know. Nice for it's also been up until this point it's been nice that it's always been like just one person at a time because there's like yesterday 3 people came in and that was like a new thing for me. It was like 3 people talking in chat all at once and I was like it was nice, but yeah, I mean, streaming really is like a skill, you know. And so it's been a nice start for me getting familiar with how to do it. But yeah. We've got bidirectional tracking. When performing a track, you can enable bidirectional, which tracks it forward and backwards. You can choose an algorithm, which is, so there are 3 available choices for the algorithm to use when tracking. The 3 options in the new track defaults section of the inspector include optical flow, which usually is the best choice unless you have a great deal of crisscrossing objects in a clip. We've got tracker, which is a good second choice when optical flow can't be used to motion estimate errors. And then there's planar. Oh, so we can use planar tracking. I like what you said earlier, though. That made sense. Because the thing is, this wasn't not actually the exact shot. I took a few takes of this where I like ran towards the car, and I don't think this was the one I used. And the one I used, I don't know. I never got it properly tracked in with the thing. I don't know. Let's see. Planar, we've got masking out objects. The same deal what we did before. We can mask objects out like we did here, where we get rid of the trucks and then track. So that's the way to do that. How did we do that? We made one polygon. And just made a chain of these. And the first polygon is set to invert. And then the rest of them are set to subtract. And that's how we can cut it out. By doing this, the tracker ignores the waves of water. So you can I mean, that's what bigger films do, right? They like have people go in and literally hand track everything. This doesn't look like it needs to be hand tracked. I bet you could just do like a green screen almost and then invert it. I mean, no, this is pretty straightforward. Track. But by doing this, the tracker ignores the waves of the water and moving clouds. Oh, okay. So just getting the tracking done on the thing that's stapled down. If there's a lot of motion in a shot, you can use the tracker or planar tracker nodes to make your occlusion mask. This crossed my mind. So if there's a lot of motion in a shot, you can use a tracker or a planar tracker to make the occlusion mask follow the area you want to track. Just remember that after using the planar tracker or planar transform node to transform your mask, you need to use a bitmap node to turn it back into a mask that can be connected to the camera tracker node's track mask input. What? If there's a lot of motion, this is suggesting doing a... Were you here for this? The planar tracker... So I think, yeah, I mean, I'm not totally sure. I'm getting a little confused myself, but I think what they mean is like when you use planar tracker, the workflow, actually here, let me save this. Let's open it. Tracker node, planar tracker. What was it? I think I actually demonstrated it in this. Did I... Oh, I think I blew this. I forget. I think I blew it up at the end. This project. I'm not sure if I have the example here. Or is it here? No. But so the idea is that you have a planar tracker, and so like an example is you have a, maybe I can, let me try and set this up. You have planar tracker here, planar tracker, and you can set it around your thing that you want to track. Set it to regular old track. Hybrid perspective, because there is some movement and it's a dynamic kind of movement. So perspective is like the heaviest processing. And we're just doing regular track, and then we track forward. Good, it's good. It's good. Okay, good, nice. So we got our track, and then what we do is change it to corner pin. And with corner pin, we need to have a, let's yoink this. Put this like, I don't know. Actually, it doesn't need to be anything, right? The point is that it could be like a color corrector. Do it this way. All we need is a color corrector. Plugged into here. I don't think it's quite hooked up right yet. But let's see. Can we get some visuals on this? This is foreground over background. FG over. So this is the foreground. This is the background. Am I messing this up? I think I am. Okay, screw the color correction. Let's just get this properly showing up. It's not doing it yet. No. Come on. Come on. Background over? No. So it's not quite set. I didn't set this up right. Stabilize, steady. Okay, this still sort of demonstrates it though. That's the one I was trying to corner pin. Oh, this is actually just what I meant to set it to, or I was supposed to set it to, or steady. Either way, this worked, okay? It was just because I was confusing myself with corner pin. The point is that you stabilize it, which it's now stabilized, and then you can add your effect. So let's do a color corrector here. And add an ellipse to over here. Oh, it's keyframed. Make an ellipse. Make it small, whatever. Put it where you want to put it. So now the color corrector should only be on that spot. Let's do the gain. The gain is way up. If this is properly applied, which it's not still. Merge? I think it's supposed to be in a merge. Planar tracker. So planar tracker to background of color corrector. I think there's supposed to be a merge here. It's like that time. Oh, it needs a background. Is that what you're saying? And then this is turned to nothing. And that worked. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. And what is going on with this? Do we need this as connected? So it needed a background so that it would be, give it a size. And then the ellipse here. But what I'm trying to do is just show a correction, like change the, maybe I need to do range options, check pre, divide, post, multiply, and the color corrector. Oh, but now we're not getting anything. What if we just plug it in there? Maybe it doesn't need to be through a merge. I think that's work. Is that working? It's not working still. Lift. In options. You need to correct the planar tracker, so you got to connect planar tracker to yellow input. Tracker to... Oh, really? No, I think it's still... I don't know about the merge, though. But how do we just do a simple... correction. I mean, what if I turn the alpha on and change the color to white or to white? But this is weird to do it this way, right? But we could. Ranges, options. Now we're not getting anything. What happened? Reset. Damn it. See, look at how much I've learned. How far we've come. Invert steady. I just want to do a simple example here. Lips. I mean, if we do it as a merge here, we could. But I don't see it. Nothing is showing up. How come? Yes, just I'm just trying to color correct the place where the eye is. What was going on over here? Let me see. So either plug the background with the mask to the planar tracker, or you put the color corrector with the mask after the planar tracker. Yeah, so right here, right? And then this is a without the merge. So just here. What if I do, instead of color corrector, I do like a, wait, how do I do, oh, like plug it in to, oh, like this? Oh my god. uh, 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 sweating here. Okay, the example can go on. That was not even like the full example there. That was just setting up the example. Okay, so we can make a small adjustment. It doesn't need to be all crazy like this. Let's do the lift, and then we can also make this mask lighter. A lot lighter. Contrast, no. Okay, actually, if we just make it like a little different here. Now the eyes are actually blue and it's kind of outlined. Looks a little different. We can do two things. We can copy and paste like this and plug it in and invert. And now, do you see how it like looks just really good? You see, I mean, that's the whole point. Is that here? Yeah, it sticks to it perfectly. So that's the planar tracker. That's like the cool way to color correct, because it's, you first stabilize the footage, you put your effect on the stabilized footage, and then you invert the stabilization. So it's like a sandwich here. And it looks perfect, right? It looks so good. There we go. Like, damn, that looks so good. I like this effect. It's so, or this technique, this process. Yeah. It looks sick. This elephant is sick. It's, I just watched a movie there. Now it's angry. Now it's an angry elephant. I watched a movie where it was like these giant bugs. They had like huge red eyes when they were angry, but then blue eyes when they were like not pissed off anymore. BTW. It was Nautica of the Wind. What was it? Valley of the Wind. Nausicaa. Watch this. A student. What is it? Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, from 1984. What's this? Swatara. Oh yeah, these are nice tutorials. But this is Studio Ghibli. Pretty good. Wow, it only made 15 million bucks. But by Miyazaki. About rotoscoping and painting. All right, cool. Yeah, these look like cool tutorials. It is 8:15. We are way past due for a 5-minute break. 5-minute break. We gotta get our 5-minute break. BRB. BRB. We're back. Okay, what made me jump into the other program? I think it was this tip. If there's a lot of motion in the shot, you can use a tracker or planar tracker nodes to make your occlusion mask follow the area you want to track. I think that's what this is talking about. Just remember that after using the planar tracker or the planar transform node, oh, that's right. You can use a planar transform instead of the thing that I did. I made a planar tracker and then put it to inverse. You could also just use planar transform. To transform your mask, you need to use a bitmap node to turn it back into a mask that can be connected to your camera tracker node's track mask input. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what that means. That's all right. So matching the live action camera. Once you have completed tracking, the next stage of this workflow requires the controls in the camera tab. This is where you would define the actual camera used on set, primarily the film gate size and focal length. This information should have been logged. I mean, I actually do know the camera footage, the metadata for this shot. I took this shot. Actually, that's not true. I don't know. I don't know if I can find it. Isn't there like a... Like, what's that do? Copy metadata. Is the metadata in the footage here? Info? Hi. This is sort of, that's not really the metadata though. The thing is, I think I was using like a lens that is a 28 to 50. I don't know, whatever. So keeping track of your footage, right, is writing down the shot that you're taking and then like the camera with the lens, because then you can put that into this stuff, into camera here. But we didn't do that. And I think it kind of figures out for us. Whatever. So this information was not logged, but it should be. And then to locate camera metadata, do the following. If you are using Davinci Resolve, select the media in, open the metadata editor, and view the camera data. Okay. Metadata editor. Is there... Oh my god, it's over here. Oh, I have never looked at this node. Or this, the main button too. Just never looked over here. Oh, damn, here we go. Do we? No, I don't know. We don't have like the frame, the camera lens. Bit depth was 8. I've recorded this at 8. So that's a mistake by me, I guess. Is that true? I was using only I have my camera set to 8 bit depth. I should change that to 16, right? All right. And then if you are using Fusion Studio, which we're not, okay. If the actual values are not shown or not known, try a best guess. The solver attempts to find a camera near these parameters. Okay, so I think I have a weird thing with my camera where it's there's this like, are you familiar with cameras, Michael? Because I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I have my camera. I have a Sony Z30. Let's look it up. And there's like a ratio to it though. It's a Nikon Z30. Are you familiar with cameras? Because I'm not. I'm not even familiar. Because there's this thing with my camera. I have a Z30, and it's got like a ratio thing about it, where if I have a 50 millimeter lens, it's actually like 70. Hey, oh, Beatty. How's it going, man? Beatty knows everything about cameras. But this is like such a dumb question that I don't even I don't want he, he knows too much for me to ask this type of question. It's like I don't know. I don't know my camera's ratio. I don't even know. This is like the dumbest question. Okay. Okay. I know this is silly, but I don't know my camera's ratio of like the lens ratio. I have like a 1.5 effective ratio on my camera. Let's take a detour and figure out what this is about. It's but I don't even know what that is. I need to read the Nikon manual for my camera. Lens ratio. So the Nikon Z30 is 23.5 by 15.7. It's Yeah, this is a whole concept, isn't it? Where you got that doesn't make any sense. I know this is why I didn't want to even bring it up, because this is like so stupid of me, because I don't even know. I have the Z30 here. This is the thing, right? 28 millimeter diagonal and crop factor. But so is a crop factor? Is that what I'm getting mixed up with? Like when you add a 50 millimeter lens, it becomes like an effective 70, like that. Something that's not totally clear for me, like what that means. So it's the ratio of a camera's sensor size to the format. So it's the format, the focal length multiplier, all this stuff. Crop factor is universally proportional to the square root of sensor area. For example, a medium format measures 33 by 44, giving it a crop factor of. So for this crop factor, if you put a 50 millimeter, it'd be more like a 35 or so, 38. But crop factor can affect image quality. Yeah. The DX sensor size is similar to APS-C. And APS-C is what the Nikon Z30 is here, right? APS-C, APS-C, I saw that. So the crop factor. Still not clear what the crop factor, or like how to visualize that. What is a camera's crop factor? Let's see, can we see an image of this? You divide the lens focal length by 1.5, and that gives you the effective focal length of that lens on that camera. Okay, because usually lenses are circular like this, so it's only capturing this bit. And then, so that's what I have is this APS-C. And so that's a but if if my crop factor is 1.5, wouldn't that mean like wouldn't full frame just be 1, right? It is. So full frame is a straight crop factor of 1. But why would a smaller frame size that's not full frame? Oh, multiply it by 1.5. So if I have a 50 millimeter lens, with a crop factor of 1.5, it's effectively a 75 millimeter capture that I'm getting. So why would it magnify it? I mean, why would that be 1.5? Wouldn't it make more sense for it to, if it wasn't a full frame capture, that it would be less than 1? It would be like 50 millimeters times 0.75. Or am I thinking about that wrong? If it's smaller, maybe it's like more. I'm just trying to wrap my head around. Full frame is not one. Okay, so maybe that's of full frame. So Nikon has a DX, has a 1.5, Canon has a 1.3. Full frame doesn't really have a crop factor. Right. Right. I mean, so it's like 1. So it's like 1 times 35, which is 35 millimeters. So there's no thing. But my point is, like, if I have a camera with a crop factor of 1.5, basically, wouldn't this illustration make more sense if it was like larger than a full frame? If it was 1.5? And if it was like smaller? But I think I'm mixing some things in my head about that. I don't know. Either way, I know that my camera is 1.5 now, so it's 1.5 crop factor here, just regular multiplier. And then this was, I think, must have been 28 millimeters times 1.5. 28. So like 42 effectively. Well, DX is smaller than. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I don't. I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, and I feel like I'd have to like take the camera apart and like look at the lenses and try to figure out how it's 1.5, how something that's not full frame has a higher ratio or multiplier. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I think we got the number we can plug into here, which is the focal length is about 42. And the film gate, I don't know. What do we say? We just say user, right? The aperture width. I don't know how necessary this is. It probably is pretty necessary for 3D camera tracking, isn't it? We have all right. So aperture width, aperture height. I don't know. Let's try that again. Auto track. We solve again. And the number we get is That's pretty good. 0.6. Let's see. But how you doing, Beatty? What's new? Back from Japan? Because DX is only capturing you look at this. Oh, you can post links now, I think, as well. With no issue. Oh, it's good. 350mm lenses, one designed to cover Super 16, one Super 35, and one full frame, all shot at T4 using a camera with a full frame sensor. The Super 816. So the format for camera. Wait, so which one is one? Which? So the camera is the Sony A77S II. The lens is an 8-64, and the focal length is 50mm. This is lens changing, but it's basically the same for camera sensors. S35 is essentially what DX is. So like the actual lens is smaller. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm still just trying to figure out how something that's not it's smaller. Like my lens is not full frame, it's smaller, yet we multiply. It multiplies when you add a lens to it. That's what's confusing for me. With a smaller lens, it makes the effective frame size larger. I think I'm gonna have to take a detour at some point and like visit the Z my camera's manual. I don't know. This is Why does the effective, if I put a 50 millimeter on my smaller, maybe I'm thinking of that wrong. So if it's zoomed in more, that doesn't necessarily mean larger. Would you consider a 20, is a 28? Well, it's zoomed in more. So zoomed in more would be like tighter, like smaller? Smaller portion of the frame. So zoom, okay, so this is like a fundamental thing that I think we're getting to it for me, which is like it's smaller, meaning like, but it's zoomed in. So that's what a crop ratio would do. Yeah, kind of cropping in, adding a 50 millimeter to a lens that's like cropping creates a more zoomed in image. I think it's making sense. I think that was it. I think I'm good. I kind of was just thinking of that the wrong way. I was thinking of like zoomed in as like bigger because when you look through it, it would look closer, whatever you're looking at, which is like wrong to think of it that way. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. I think that's it, man. I think I'm getting it. Yeah, how's it going? Back from Japan? Oh, I'm good. I actually kind of randomly watched a movie today, a Studio Ghibli animation. Um, it was called Nausicaa Classic. Kind of randomly. Are you back in the area? Man, today was beautiful. I went for a nice run and then watched that movie. It was a very relaxing day for me. Yeah, what a nice day. But how do you know when to stop with the camera tracking filtering? How to know when to clean this up? Clean up by filter. Hmm. That's nice. Good to be back. I am trying to figure out this 3D camera tracker. We got one before pretty easily. This one? Truck. Getting really solidifying the fundamentals here. I think we can also hide this grid here. How do we do that? I think it's here, set it and oh, it's locked. And then, oh, Uh-oh. Uh-oh. On a hot day like today, warm 70s almost. Give that child soda. That's what the child wants. You could try giving them some nice seltzer water. Yes, a delicious Pepsi Max. All kids love Pepsi Max. He, she, since we're not sure. I identify as truck. That's all good. All good. Michael's an OG. He was here from day one on Twitch. We're trying to figure out the secrets of the camera tracker node. And also the crop ratios. Yeah, really. We've been through so much. Look at how far we've come. But how do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of the grid here? I want to know how to just clean it up a little bit from our view. Tracker. Wireframe. You see how there's just a grid here? This is like a basic thing. Just to get rid of this grid. I think it's in the camera tracker, and we go to action. Oh, ground plane? No. Point cloud. Camera. Oh, I really thought it was going to be one of those. I mean, not so important, but huh. Okay. We got to keep moving. Can't get stuck on the small things like that. But how do you know when to stop? That's right. So we're using the track filtering. We're trying to clean this up a little bit. Down here, we've got our track with some of the points that aren't so clean. But we can use some solve options, clean up the tracks by filtering. We can mess with this, right? We turn the threshold down. I think it selects more. Like, and then we could just try to solve again. I mean, I guess this works. It doesn't have to be 0.001. You were recommending below 0.7, right? So let's just use this. Let's use this and see what it looks like. Export. What? We got this. We can move this over here. Below 1. Yeah, so I think, so this looks like it's gonna work. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. We got this and this. So is this the same deal? Like, we just kind of figure out, we can base it off of our own judgment of like where things are? So the car is actually like right here. So this is the car, pretty much. And so we want to, oh, I guess, okay, I guess, I get it. I get it. We're just, car. We just put it in the space. Figure out where the stuff is. That's not quite right, is it? I thought the car was right there. Oh, it's above the camera? What? What am I doing? Why isn't it? Where'd it go? What? Ah, you're right again. And yeah, so that looks right. That looks good. Not really. Not. Yeah. Well, this is good. I mean, I'm glad we're doing this. It's nice I'm doing this with with people here. Because I had trouble with this before when I was making the video. I was confused. I was like, what was going on? But this might go back to the thing you were suggesting right from the beginning, which is like, this is maybe not the right thing to be doing. Yeah, planar tracker. Yeah. I think you're right. That still gives me closure from this whole shot when I worked on it. Let's try it. Planar tracker. And we're gonna do the trick again where it's like we start in the middle here. What happened? What do you think? Should I do it on the car, like the whole car like this? Or should I just do a portion of it? I don't know. Let's give this a try. Track. Set at 59. Hybrid. Perspective. Okay. Go backwards. That didn't look right. It did everything but the car. And also, I think it was messing up with the background here. Let's go back to 59. Let's just see what we get though. Huh. Oh, and then it kind of broke. Okay, this is really, yeah, this doesn't look like it's gonna, but we'll try it anyways. When you click create planar transform, it creates one like way over here, just a tip. Because after you make that, you can press this button, the planar transform, and you can apply this to like whatever. So if we just apply this here, what is it? Merge. Come on now. Come on. Ugh. Huh? Huh? It's got to get rendered, right? Yeah. So merge 3D. Do I have to go through and make like a merge 3D and a camera 3D and a renderer 3D? Or just this to here? No, I need to have a camera as well, don't I? Ay, ay, ay. Merge. Bloop. 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 Car. I don't know if I need to do that. Let's see. Got it busted. We're probably gonna have to remake that one. Move the camera back. You might need to render the 3D text. It's inside the text. Let's see if we can go to the merge and like find where this. Huh. So we'll move this back. Move it here. You know what? I feel like now is a good moment to take a 5-minute break. I feel like my mind was melting a little bit when it came to the lens crop factors. So you know what? I think it's a good time. Take a 5-minute BRB. Hope you're having a good time. See you in a sec. Hog champ. I okay. This is something that I haven't done also on stream, which is figuring out how to do append. I feel like this might be draw an append, right? This might be one of those situations where we have to like do the track and then do a pause and do an append. Huh? If I do it from here? What? What the? What? Huh. Okay. These are noggins. How do you do append? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's still a mystery. Never did it. Create planar options. Hmm. Hmm. I think it's time to recenter with the manual. So messing around with these, you can lower these settings. We didn't solidify what the best settings are, but it's the concept here that we're after is that you can filter things through. And how do you know when to stop? Your goal should be achieve a solve error below 0.5. There you go. That's your target. It needs to be below. We know that it's kind of below 1 is needed, but target should be 0.5. There's a hard number for us to look for. And then tips for solving camera motion. When solving camera movement, it's important to provide accurate live action camera information, such as focal length and film gate size. And by the way, I think I wrapped my head around it during the break. I was thinking about it. I was like, the crop factor. I think the thing I was saying, or the way I was thinking about it, was that crop factor was, I was connecting like the thing it's zoomed in more so I could see the thing bigger. But that was where the error was. Like since it was basically smaller. And so it needs so it's a higher crop factor ratio. Hopefully, I don't know. I think that's it. I think it's connected now. The thing in my mind has like been corrected. I think that's it. I was getting mixed up because I thought zoomed in meant bigger, but zoomed in actually means like smaller in terms of the camera lenses and if I don't 100% get it right now, I think overnight it's gonna make sense in my dreams. So for example, if the provided focal length is too far away from the correct physical value, the solver can fail. Yeah, we got to sleep on that one. That's a I'm glad you can spam emotes now. The solver can fail to converge, resulting in a useless solution. So we got to at least be sort of close to what the focal length is. So even though that was a detour, I feel like that was a crucial detour. And if you film with a camera, you have to at least know what your ratio, what your effective camera lens is. I mean, this could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I was fully zoomed out and it was 28 millimeters, and then that effective was times 1.5 to get this 42. This stuff, I don't know. Actually, this is, I think it's just written on the website. Or that's one of those things I should know. Okay, moving on. A good balance of tracks across objects at different depths with not too many tracks in the distant background or sky. This is what you want to do. So additionally, for the solver to accurately triangulate and reconstruct the camera and point cloud, it is important to have a good balance of tracks across objects at different depths with not too many tracks in the distant background or sky, which we had a whole bunch of. And we were doing some... No, we weren't. No, it was just we weren't zooming, but we were just like moving forward. These do not provide any additional perspective information to the solver. You want a good balance of tracks across objects at different depths with not too many tracks in the distant background or sky. Tracks distributed evenly over the image and not highly clustered on a few objects or one side of the image, and then the track starts and ends staggered over time with not too many tracks ending on the same frame. Ending on the seed frames. The solver works by first constructing a partial solution between two seed frames. These seed frames are selected automatically. However, automatic selection adds time to the process. The time is reported in the solve summary at the top of the inspector. Oh. So there's these seed frames, which is like kind of, I guess, the base. Trying to look for like... Yeah, I think so. And you can select your own seed frames to speed the process and potentially get a better solve on trickier clips. The solver uses these seed frames to create an intermediate solution and then extends this forward and backwards for the duration of the clip. So kind of like how I was starting here and I was like, oh, this looks like a good middle place because it's like, because then we get halfway between the start and the end. But that's another thing, is like this clip seems to be struggling here because we lose like the space that we're in pretty much. But anyways, so their seed frame makes sense actually. It was like from here, it was here, and halfway from here to here is the start, and then halfway from here to like to here was also, we basically, the track could work at this point. That's probably why it picked around there. So selecting the seed frame is not necessarily recommended unless you have experience with the camera tracking. Keeping the default auto select seed frame checkbox enabled in the solve options selection of the solver tab selects the best frames in most cases. However, you can disable the checkbox and use the seed frame 1 and seed frame 2 slider to select frames you believe achieve better results. When choosing seed frames, it is important to satisfy two main characteristics. They should have lots of tracks in common and should be far apart in perspective. Okay, so generally what I just said, right? Makes sense. You're going to start in the middle because you get, if it's a motion from here to here, the middle is going to be easier to go from there and then from there. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Moving on. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Some shots that do not have enough camera motion to triangulate feature locations cannot be reconstructed with any useful accuracy, ensuring that a shot is camera trackable begins on set with proper usage of track markers and by ensuring the camera moves have enough perspective shift for the solver to glean useful data from. Well, there's another idea I have here, which is that we could just reset this thing, right? And also just move this in. Just, we won't use from this point, or even, we'll go to here. We'll go to here. Just don't, oh wait, no, we have a little more space. I think here's good. We could go to here. And that's the planar tracker. Let's use the camera tracker again. Camera tracker. Okay. Oops. Wait. This one. We're gonna go to like frame. Okay, so here. Just let it go. Yep. Camera. 42. Go, Canon, Nikon. I feel like my camera's close to this. Okay, whatever. Then we go to solve. And we, yeah, so this might work. Move it down here. Move this over here, whatever. I think that's it. I mean, I guess part of it is just being aware that at this point things were starting to break because it was like confusing the tracker. So just being aware of that, right? Just get the effect that you're trying to get across. That is before you like stretch it too far. I don't know. Maybe we need more experience with tracking before we can be that fancy with it. Let's see. Here we go. Huh? Where is our text? Huh? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, all right. Okay, we're good. And so here we are, right? Trying to make sense of where we are in 3D space. I want to put this text like on top of the car's head. So how do we find, oh yeah, your suggestion before was to find a tracker and select it. Oh yeah. And this is supposed to be like that, right? Huh? Huh? What am I doing here? We got merge 3D. Yeah, why aren't the points export? We solved, and then we exported. And then we have the export here. This no longer needs to be connected. Let's just put this over here. We got our point cloud. Right now we're displaying the merge 3D. And it doesn't look like the tracking is tracking. This? Let's see, what did we do over here? Our merge, our ground plane and the point cloud, right? And the camera 3D. Oh, what? No, that's right. Camera 3D goes directly to the merge. Yeah. I mean, X3D goes to the merge. Something is terribly wrong. This is locked? No. Point cloud, lock. I didn't actually track. Let's try this again. Let's untie this, delete these, delete this. Camera tracker. Pull this up. We're gonna go from here. We're gonna, doesn't matter. Go from frame 0, auto track, camera. We're gonna adjust this. Hopefully, I'm gonna put, I think my camera is kind of close to this. Oh, whatever. That might be the thing that's screwing me. And then solve. And that's good. So moving on to export. Export. Moving this into place. This can be disconnected. Doesn't actually need to be connected anymore. Now we plug this in. We weren't previewing it. Just had to preview it. Just had to pull up the right node. The beginning struggles. The necessary struggles, right? Let's see if we can select the thing. Select which nodes are our camera. I mean, which one is our car? We do here, camera. Okay. Oh, that might have been also what was going on. So right now I'm on the merge 3D and we are getting the view. And I think what was wrong was we weren't really taking the camera. We weren't on the view. We weren't in view. We weren't in camera and then actually looking at the camera 3D. I think that's what was... I think that's what was going on. Cool. And then we got... And then from this... But did you catch that? Because this is what we were trying to do also. Was you can load up this and then right click and go to camera, so that you're in the camera. We just weren't in the camera right there. Anyways, we select some of these nodes. Now we know. We can put it into place. Put it into place in perspective view, whatever. Yeah. And then are we going to mask it too? Yes. And there we go. Man, why was that? That was tough. I don't know why. I used up all my mental juice trying to figure out this lens crop factor. But there we go. There we go. Oh, Michael, I got a question for you. Do you know how to make this text have like just a regular black outline? But it drained our mental, yeah. My mana. I need more mana. Yeah, that was one thing, because this text looks stupid always, and I don't know how to just like do a regular outline for it. Maybe there's like a text outline node. Text. Texture pop. Texture. I know, I think it's something like this. If we, oops, if we copy and paste, it's something like this. It's something like making this one, because what you can do is merge these. You can merge these together, right? And then just plug in this merge. And then you can even be a little fancier. And you can right click and say connect, or what? You right click here, say publish, and then you right click here and you connect to the text, and then you're just editing this. And they're the same. So somehow you can make this turn into just an outline. So we can figure out how to outline it. See, it's doing things, but that's because they're overlapping. But how do I change the text so that it's just an outline? Transform. Like, there should be a way to properly do this. Because I think I could, like, mess with it. You know, if I mess with, like, the bevel or something. But it's kind of stupid. being dumb to do it this way. Not quite right. Like this. Now we do have like black text on sort of, but it's kind of not controlled, you know. Oh. Did I do it? I think that does. I think that's it. Is that it? If I get out of view, if I get out of camera, perspective. Was that it? I think that's it. Oh, oh. Looks good to me. I don't know. I think that's it. Okay, what did I do? That was playing with the bevel width. That was changing, so we have two texts here, and then I connected them by publishing this. Right click publish and then connecting this bevel text. And then this is white text and then this is black text for the outline, and you just change the bevel width. And bam. Okay, cool. Let's do that for this. Do that for this one. See what it looks like. Because we don't actually, I mean, that might as well just be like regular flat text. It does, we don't get any value from all our hard work by seeing it, you know. But let's see if we do this, publish, connect. Truck. So this is what you wanted to do for your YouTube video, put the text behind the car like that. I wanted to, yeah, I wanted to make like really cool text and have it animate out, and then like also add in like explosions. I wanted it to look cool as hell. It was like in the video, the idea was like, it's a reveal. I know it's a silly looking car, but the idea was like, you know, like a car edit where it's like, you know, give the name of the car and it like explodes out and it looks sweet. That's what I was originally going for. Like a cool reveal that was tracked in and it looked nice. I'm not saying what we have there would be like the finished thing, but a lot of this is just, we're just trying to figure out technically how to do some of these things. We do in the next section, we're gonna have to start making stuff that looks good too. We do extrusion here, the same as this one. Maybe that's like the goal of the next section, right? Because we have no more excuses. The excuse now is like, we're just trying to figure it out, right? We're doing low expectations. But then next, after we finish the fundamentals, then nothing's holding us back, you know? Or we just have no excuse. Let's see, what's this look like? Yeah. That's pretty cool. We got the bevel text on there. How to add a shadow. Okay, challenge accepted. I feel like that's a good last 20-minute type thing to try to get in there. How are we going to do that? how to properly do that. Let's see, wait, is there advanced reading direction? Shadow, drop shadow. No, I think we can. Okay, so the shadow is coming here, right? Oh, wait, no, we actually, oh, I know how to do this. I know how to do it. We have to have, we add a plane in here, or catcher, right? It might be catcher, we might plug, but I think we get a plane into the scene, right? Yeah, just where it is. Yes, and then make the plane bigger. I don't just make it bigger. I'm just plane bigger. I guess we want to put this plane in. Oops. We want to put the plane into place. We're basically. I might be doing this. I'm like recreating the whole thing. I remember this. This was at like a. What was it? Transform. Was at a 48. So we want to just put this plane in the same place and make it bigger. Doesn't matter. It can be massive actually. Doesn't matter because we plug catcher in. Yes. And there's a catcher node, I think also gets plugged into these as well. Oops. Okay. Nope. Oh, I gotta plug it in here. Nope. No. Okay. But anyways, image plane. And we gotta get a light into the scene. We could get a spotlight. What is it? Which type of light is the sunlight closest to that it gives? I think it's directional light, but I'm not sure if directional light casts shadows, because that's what we need. But we plug that in. Shadows, enable shadows. I think this should work. Should just work now. Material, what is it? Controls, lock width, visibility, matte, shadows, blend modes. So the idea, shadow caster, shadow receiver. Yeah. And then can I set shadow casting from this? Transform. Pass through lights. Is that it? Pass through lights. Pass through lights. This text 3D needs to be able to cast shadows, right? Advanced. Yeah. I think. Well, I added the light. I think I think what needs to happen is these need to be like set to cast shadows. Let's see. And it might also not be the right node that I'm using. Directional light might not be the thing. I could use a target. Okay. Target, pick. Um, the sun. Okay, wait. I think the sun should be like over here, right? Because it's like casting that way. Okay. Density. Can we just blast it? Projection. You need to enable lights and oh, there. That's right. I didn't do that in the renderer. Don't I need a renderer? Or enable lighting. There we go. Enable shadows. Damn it. God damn it. Why can't. And is it image plane? Shadowcaster. Oh, this is so close, I think. But you see the setup, right? The image plane is supposed to be right underneath. And it's supposed to only receive shadows. Which we have. We have that set up. You see where I'm going with this? Shadow receiver. Maybe take this off. Maybe take this off. Yeah. And then, is that it? Is this working? No. But it's unseen by camera. There. No. Close. Play with the light. Density. Directional light. Okay, I'm turning it way up. And then let's move it here. Nah, we're definitely not getting any. We're not getting any shadow onto here, right? If I don't make it unseen. Faster. Shadow receiver. I think it's maybe these text, the text. Maybe the merge 3D? Pass through lights? No. Transform? No. Settings? No. Layout? Shading? Oops. Oh, that's weird. That's kind of cool. No, I think that's. It doesn't matter. Oh, 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 oh. No. I thought. Because I did think it was catcher, but I think it's not catcher. I think we just have to simply set this up in a certain way. Affected by lights. I think it's this text. Something about this text is not causing shadows. Okay, try that. Like a shape? I mean, I could try a shape. I could do a... Oh, do a plane. Okay. And same deal, we were gonna... Oh, maybe. I think I can do it like this, right? I could actually just copy... Can't I copy these? Like just right click copy? No? No. Okay, anyways. This... Oh. Shape. Ooh. Okay, let's go back to... I don't know. Controls. Dang. Oh. Could it be? And then this is, we have to set this, turn this on here. Receives shadows. No, so it is the text. Something about the text. Something about the text. Something about the text. Creating modifiers? No. Hmm.
Hello there, in this video I'm going to show you guys the best possible ways to apply drop shadow to your text in Davinci Resolve. Now this applies to both text and text plus. So let's get started with normal text.
No, this is... Nah.
How to do it? Like this, then you can change it like this.
No. Dang it. How to do text... Not text plus, we want actual shadows. Okay, wait. What's the next best thing? We need closure here. What's the next best thing? Is for us to do fake drop shadow, right? We fake it. If we just... We fake it. And I don't think this is gonna work either. I'm thinking if it's like a blur, can we do like a blur 3D? Is that a thing? 3D blur? You have to basically first render the text, then add shadow node, then add them to an image plane and connect the image plane to the merge plane again. What? You have to basically first render the text, then add render the text, and then add. But that's a lot of steps. That is a lot of steps. This is not worth it, is it? It's not worth it. I know how to use Unreal Engine. Why would I do this? Why would I do it this way? Actually, just for the concept, just for the knowledge? No, this is important. What the heck? I want to know how to cast shadows. What if it's something else? Let's just put instead of a, let's just cast a shadow with a regular shape. Just make sure that shapes cast shadows, right? So we're gonna get a cube in here. We're gonna move the cube back. Oh. Connect it. Move the cube back. Material. What? We might have more of an issue here. Bruh. Oh, I think it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. I mentioned this. I don't think this type of lights casts. Yeah. I don't think this is the right light type. I think that's what's wrong here. I mentioned I hinted at that. Ah. Damn. Use target. Target is pick it. I want the target to be here, right? Then we can move it into place. It's still not casting shadows, is it? Wait, it's directly above it. It's still not casting shadows, is it? Nothing is. What the fuck? Shadows? What? What? We need answers. We can't end it like this. Shadow map? Oh, no. Oh, no. Nope. Nope. It doesn't make sense. This is no way to end. We're not getting any shadows here. Bleh. Specular exponent transmittance. I think we're just fundamentally missing something about shadows. Lighting. Oh my god, I think it's stupid. Wait, yeah. Yep. Well, we don't even have it. We don't have a renderer. Huh? Oh. Okay, wait. This is getting funky. I think a camera tracker 3D works as a renderer 3D. I think it is. Do we need this? Do we need more depth? Shading? The whole time? Did I not have shadows enabled the whole time? Not, still not casting shadows. That's depth of field or depth field. Output Z? Oh, no, no. No. Bruh. Alright. I'm stumped. I don't get it. I don't get it either. And that's kind of frustrating. Pass through lights. Camera 3D? Camera 3D? No, I know what that is. Don't get confused by that. That wasn't it. Oh, plane. Dang it. Alright, well, shoot. Shoot. And it's 10. Shoot. So where are we at? We're at 770. We have yet to kind of cover cleaning up. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good one, though. We got some... Don't get discouraged. Oh, and tomorrow's Monday, so I'm not gonna stream tomorrow. Oof. So it's a cliffhanger. That's what we're ending today on a cliffhanger. I gotta figure that one out. Yeah, I'll figure it out for Monday or for Tuesday. But cleaning up camera solves. Okay, there's talking about cleaning up camera solves. You can go up into here and like mess with the buttons. We need that closure. I think we're gonna pick up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do another day of camera tracking 3D because I do think it's important to wrap our heads around this. I mean, we had the basic stuff pretty set up now. Then we're doing particle systems. All right, so we're on 1770. Let me see. I'm doing a how to cast shadows Davinci Resolve Fusion. This is like a 26-minute video though. It's a shadow caster.
Hi, this is Brian from Profitless Media and Post.
This looks
And
good. This looks good. 7-minute video.
Last video, I received a question in the comments asking how I added the shadows to the animated text in the final composite. So this week we're going to talk about how we can add geometry in Fusion to cast a shadow on the animated text as it goes into the bridge. This video and the last video are part of a larger tutorial that will be coming soon about the entire process from start to finish. Okay, so here we are in Fusion. So what we're looking to do is add geometry that will represent the shadows that the bridge would cast on our 3D text. Now we could take our 3D camera and bring it into a 3D software package and do an accurate model of the bridge and use that as a shadow caster. But we're going to take a look at using simple geometry inside Fusion to do just this. So let's bring up our 3D scene. And you can see we have a pretty decent point cloud for our bridge. And the way I'm looking at this is that we could do this with two shapes. We have our arch here, the underneath of the bridge, which we could do with a cylinder. And then we have the back wall of the bridge, which we can do with just a card. So let's work on the cylinder first. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. One way to do this is I'm going to grab this point here in the front, which is right in the front, close to the center. And I'm going to grab another point holding down Shift and grab the second point in the back, which is pretty close to the same location. And what that's going to do is when I add in the cylinder, it's going to make the length of the cylinder will fit the bridge width, and it'll also align the y-axis with these 2 points, which will make it easier to position. So with those 2 points selected, let's right click on them, and we'll go down to Point Cloud 3D1 and create a line shape. And you can see now we have a cylinder where the y-axis is aligned to those 2 points. And if we look from the side, you can see that this is the right length for the width of the bridge. So now we just need to put it into place. Now we can just position it by eye like this, and try to get into position. But another way that we can look at this is by looking through the camera into the original scene. So what we can do is let's right click inside the scene, go to camera, and go to our 3D one, which is our original camera. And so now we're looking through the camera, and now we just need the background. We can do that by going over to our camera, and let's unlock it and enable image plane. And so now we can see our image behind here, and all we need to do is position this. We obviously need a much larger radius, so I'm going to bring this radius up, and I'm looking at the width right here. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so that it matches. We're trying to match this curve, maybe a little bit wider. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. You can see here that the subdivisions are a little small. If we need to smooth this out, we can come over to base subdivisions and just turn that up to get this smooth out. So now we have a nice clean arc underneath the bridge. Now the next thing is we don't really want the bottom, we just want this top part. And we can take care of that if we come down to the angle. And once I start bringing this up, you can see that we're not going a full 360. We can change this to whatever we need. So I'm going to change this to 180, so it's just half. And there we go. So now we have this nice arch underneath the bridge, which matches up with the bridge geometry pretty well. Now if we go backwards, let's go back some. Now you can see the problem we have here. Now obviously we have this, the back wall of the bridge is going to be more of a straight line, so we need to put a card there to make this look more accurate. So let's go back to the perspective view, and we're going to do the same thing that we did for this arch, except this time we're just going to grab one point, and we're going to grab that point in the back. And what happens when we grab one point, it's going to be aligned to the camera. So with that one point selected, let's create a line shape. I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. I'm going to unhook from the point cloud and bring the objects right into our 3D scene. And so, okay, so this is the one we just made. And this one here we want to change to a plane. Okay, great. So now we have our plane, and now we just need to fit this to match up with the back wall. So the width and height are going to be different, so let's click off the width and height so we can do these separate. I'm going to bring the width so that's at least as wide, and the height can come down, maybe something like that. I'm just going to see how we can... Now if we look at it from the side, you can see that it lines up perfectly with the back of our archway. And now we just got to make sure that the height of this plane doesn't go over the top of the bridge. So let's check this again. Let's right click, go to camera, look through our camera, and just make sure. Now one of the things you can tell is we can't see this the back railing, so we know that this card's got to be a little bit lower. It's going to probably be somewhere just underneath this edge. And we can go back to the perspective view. And another thing we can check is sort of the height of this right here, the top of the front railing. So if we come from the side, we should be able to kind of tell the height. And that looks about right. Maybe a little bit lower, something like that. And now if we come from the side, you can see now we're getting as the text comes in, you can see now we're getting this nice shadow that should represent the back of the bridge. So now that we have our shadow set up, now we just need to get rid of the geometry but keep the shadows. So to do that, let's add a override 3D. Override 3D. And we're going to put that in between this merge and our 3D scene. And in this override, all we need to turn on is under visibility, do unseen by camera, unseen by cameras. And once we do that, let's go over to the final render. Whoops, I left on the back plate. So let's go back to our original camera, turn off the image plane. There we go. That's more like it. And now you can see that we have our shadow coming in, and then it gets nice and dark underneath the bridge. And then as we come to the other side, you should start seeing the shadow change to like an arch like this. Okay, great. So that's one way you can add a shadow caster.
What? I don't know. It seemed like really useful, but that didn't answer our question, did it? Damn it. That was kind of interesting, though. That's like so that the text looks good. But I still don't get how I just want to know how he did this. Can we see it? Can we decipher his nodes? He's got, no, I don't know. What the fuck? I mean...
inside Davinci Resolve Fusion using simple geometry.
So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to place a 3D object, in this case it's text, into our scene and have that object cast shadows within that scene. Putting 3D objects into Davinci Resolve Fusion with shadows and implementing that in your scene may seem pretty straightforward, but there's actually a couple steps to it. And that's exactly
But it's
what I'm
not.
going to show you now. This is the footage that I decided to use for this tutorial. The reason I chose it is because there is some movement, some depth to the scene, and of course there are the shadows. This is from ArtGrid. I will link to them in the description below. So we have our footage, we placed it in our timeline here. What I'm going to do is right click and choose New Fusion Clip, because a lot of the work that we're going to do is going to be within Fusion. So let's go to the bottom, we'll choose the Fusion tab. We have our media in and media out, basically our starting and ending point. Let me just make some adjustments here. From here, I'm going to choose Control Space, and that will bring up our list of tools. And the first thing that we're going to do is type in tracker. We'll bring in our camera tracker, which is our 3D camera tracker. So what I'll do,
Okay, we know how to do that.
just choose darken image. Our next step is to come up to the Fusion toolbar and drag down a shape. On the right-hand side, you can see where it says plane, and that's perfectly fine because it's exactly what we want. Drag the node up into the viewer, and you can see our plane. Now, if I connect it to the ground plane, if you look on the right-hand side, within our scene, it's actually laying flat, again, which is exactly what we want. I'll adjust the size so that's more visible, and it is in place for what we need it for.
Okay.
And as with the ground plane itself, if I scrub to the footage, you'll notice that it moves along with the scene, and it looks as if it's part of the road. Next step is to come up to the toolbar, choose a text node. I'll grab the output from the text layer, connect it to our shape layer, and that will create a merge node. With the text node selected, on the right-hand side, we have the inspector, and I'll go ahead and type something in.
So it's in position, right?
If we take that merge node and we'll drag it up, I'm going to hit Control and scroll my mouse wheel because right now we're too close to see anything. Now I'll try to rotate my view. Once again, we also don't see that text, and that's because both the text and the plane are on the same plane. So let's go ahead and rotate the text 90 degrees. And you may notice it on the left-hand side, but it might still be a little bit hard to see. So with the text node layer selected, I'm going to change the color from white to red. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, now we actually can see our footage within the scene, and it's visible to our camera. It may be a little bit confusing to see the scene the way it is on the left-hand side, so you right-click, choose 3D options, and we can get rid of the grid. Now using the Alt key and my mouse, I'm going to make some adjustments so that we can actually see this straight on. Our next step is to add a light, and this is so that we can cast a shadow. On the toolbar at the top there, we're going to choose Spotlight, and that's actually the only light within Fusion that will cast a shadow. So we'll go ahead and connect that into our merge layer. We can see our light in the display window up there, but you'll notice that it doesn't appear to be doing anything. What we have to do is right-click, choose 3D options, and then select Lighting and Shadows. And now we can make our adjustments. You can do that with...
Was that it? So spotlight, so he just said it, he clarified that, but what do we have to do? Right click, settings? What was it?
within the window Fusion that will cast a shadow. So we'll go ahead and connect that into our merge layer. We can see our light in the display window up there, but you'll notice that it doesn't appear to be doing anything. What we have to do is right-click, choose 3D options, and then select...
Right click, 3D options. Right click, options? He said 3D options. Global options? What? Bruh.
Select lighting and cast a shadow. On the toolbar at the top there, we're going to choose Spotlight, and that's actually the only light within Fusion that will cast a shadow. So we'll go ahead and connect that into our merge layer. We can see our light in the display window up there, but you'll notice that it doesn't appear to be doing anything. What we have to do is right-click, choose 3D options.
Fuck. Right click, okay, there it is. Shadows. Show lights.
And then select lighting and shadows. And now we can make our adjustments. You can do that within the window by grabbing, let's say, the Z-axis and pulling it back, or you can use that over in the inspector window and use the translation and make your adjustments there. We're actually going to use a combination of both the translation, where it is in space, and rotation, so we can point the light directly at our text. If you look in the left-hand viewer, you can see how that light is actually casting the shadows onto that plane now. Over in the inspector, if I wanted to...
I mean, I see it for him. I don't see it for us. What the no. What if we bring this closer? Oh! Wait. What? 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 What the fuck? What? I see shadows. I see shadows. The cone. It's definitely casting shadows. It's on no decay. What the? What? Bruh. This is... What? Rotate? What? Bruh. Something about this light is weird, maybe? Drop off. The angle. What? Bruh? What? I'm stumped. I don't know what the heck is going on with this light. Is it because we're at an angle? Is it something about this target? The target causing some... We do have this block in the way, but that's nothing. That's just... the cone, like the cone of this light. Visibility. Spotlight. 5. 1. Something about this cone, right? Bro, I'm stumped. I don't know. You saw that, like, when it's close, it works. Do we have another light in here that's messing with it? Huh. I am kind of stumped. We bring it closer. For a second, it casts a shadow. Let's just get this a little closer to the point where we get like that 1 second of shadow. Okay, when it's like when it's like an inch away, we get a shadow. That's definitely a shadow. Point light. Shadows, enable. Oh, it's not in the same. Plug it in. Oh. Ah, but that's not like... Okay, well, okay. Get this stupid spotlight out of here. Get dumb old spotlight. What is going on? I feel like something's... You think it... Maybe it's this. Maybe it's because I'm doing two now. Could it be like the text along with the... No, what? Something about the text. I'm stumped. At least we got a shadow, right? Oh. Oh. Okay, good idea. We're getting somewhere. Point light. We go back to spotlight. Plug it in. No, I already think it didn't work. I already think. Same deal. Spotlight, transform, use a target, pick the target of this here. Okay. Then we can move it over here. There's one idea I have. There's like a fall off, right? There's this fall off. Something about the drop off? No drop off. God. What have I done? I throw my hands up. Throwing in the flag. I'm out of ideas. But let's look at the bright side. In the process, we looked at all the buttons very closely. So now we're more familiar with all the buttons. We tried very hard. Yes, that's the bright side. Yes, we tried our best. What's this blue one? Scene input. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. We did. We tried it so hard and got so far. Okay. I throw my hands up. We'll figure it out in the future. I'll see you. I hope to see you again, Michael. Nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out. We'll get there. We'll figure this one out. Let me turn this thing off and take a screenshot and call it an episode. Take this off, take the shape 3D and turn off the lights, or an ambient light. Just get ambient light for the whole thing, right? Imagine this worked perfectly. It perfectly lit everything with shadow and everything. All right, taking a screenshot of that. I'll see you next time, man. Peace.